Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with a kickin' action figure review. This figure took me by surprise when it was announced. I gotta give a shout out to D Amazing, probably the best toy photographer out there. Definitely check him out on Instagram and on YouTube. He was a big part of the promotion for this. He did all the promotional photos and reviewed it early before it came out. So thanks for convincing me to spend $136 on this figure, D Amazing. Thanks for that! But Mezco Toys, who I've only done one review for in the past, has revived their Silent Screamers line. Yes, I've seen some of their previous Silent Screamers. Not much in the way of articulation, but Mezco's like a completely different toy company than it used to be. Now Mezco's famous for like the clothing and everything. But they revived Silent Screamers, and this is the website exclusive 20th anniversary Nosferatu from 1922, one of my favorite horror films. I really love Nosferatu. Most people only know him from SpongeBob these days, or at least most people my age. That being said, I'm a huge horror buff, and I do have a copy of this 1922 silent film. I have a very rare version that actually still has the names from Dracula in it, actually. So, Nosferatu 1922, he comes in this tin lunchbox, which is very, very cool. I'm only going to use the lunchbox for figure stuff. I'm just going to keep all his accessories in it. But I got the big fancy package. I literally pre-ordered this guy the second he went up for pre-orders. I was literally sitting on the website waiting for 1 p.m. because I wanted to pre-order this guy so badly. I'm trying to collect more of this type of monster and a bit less of this type of monster, because I have a ton of this type of monster and less of this type of monster, but you'll see more of my monsters like this later. He came with a t-shirt, mine's extra large, and he also came with a film cell from the trailer, the stop motion trailer for the action figure and stuff. Those I'm not going to show in this video. I will put pictures of them on Twitter. That way those who don't care about them don't have to see them, those who only care about the action figure. And those who do care about them can follow me on Twitter. Win-win. I'm just messing around. So now let's get into this real well. Silent Screamers, great art of Nosferatu, 1/12 scale, pose, play, display. Emphasis on the play. Play with your figures, people. Nosferatu 1922, 20 years. There's a picture of him being creepy. Oh, I just noticed mine's a little bent. Ah, crap. Oh well. Mezco Nosferatu 1922 Silent Screamers. There he is, right side up. Top of the lunchbox. Bottom of the lunchbox. Pretty bland. But yeah, let's open Nosferatu up. Ooh la la. Ooh la la, what is this? Oh, basically just a little read-up of their toys in general. That can go. Let's put him right side up. Oh man, he's covered in plastic and I can already tell he's gorgeous. Oh, that is a beautiful, beautiful boy. But here's Nosferatu himself. A lot of stuff. There's his full-sized coffin. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so let me make sure I get all this together and then I'll be right back with you. So, counter lock comes with this Nosferatu Silent Screamer stand, foot pegging right there. But it also has a supportive arm option, kind of like lots of SH Figure Arts. And it comes with this, like, label. So you can label him in your collection. That's neat. I'm never going to use that, so it's just going to go right back in. Next up, I'm going to show you a lot of his accessories, and he does come with a bunch of them. He's got these keys. I'm just going to leave them in that little package for now. Multiple rats. Various rats. A beautifully colored lantern. A hat. And then all kinds of different claws. That's like a claw you can hang the lantern and the keys off of. He's got like kind of a holding hand again, and then you got That's also like a beckoning claw. And then you got these attack claws. You have kind of a chill out guy head, an attacking head, and then I'll show you the accessories attached to him right now, because we're getting to the figure himself. And here's our lovable vampire out of packaging all the way. There's another accessory I haven't quite shown you yet, but we'll get to it in a sec. He looks great. Visually, this might even be a perfect figure visually. He's very, very cool. Let's bring him a little closer, but also zoom out. What's that about, huh? So this is my first clothed Mezco figure. The only other Mezco I have is the King Kong and the smaller one, the colored one, not the black and white one. And I'm impressed. Good job, Mezco. This is impressive work. As you can see, he is very well dressed. His little coat here is all snapped together. It's not removable. He's all cut up and worn. I just want to say, one of the reasons Nosferatu has a great place in my heart is because it defied copyright law, and also because I prefer Nosferatus that don't quite look human. I prefer vampires that don't quite look human. Just ask my friends after they play my Haunted House Call of Cthulhu campaign. But I prefer very inhuman vampires, and this is a very inhuman vampire. So that's really good. But you usually see inhuman vampires in action movies and not horror movies, which is the problem. But wow, he looks... Doesn't he just look incredible? Look at, like, his creepy claws. And, like, you can see the veins on his head. Let's focus a little. There we go. Dark eyes. Little teeths. Little teeths. The tight leggings that don't really get caught in the articulation. That's nice. Little shoes. I wish I could look this fly. I wish I could be this on fleek for real. But let's talk about articulation. Most of it's hidden by the clothing. But he can look up a decent way. Down very far. That looks creepy. Side to side, plenty. Whew. You got up and down on the arm. It doesn't come up terribly far because he's got these big shoulders. But you got forward and back on the arm as well. Very nice elbow bend. Feels like a double. You can't see it, but it feels like a double. Forward and back on the wrist, but you can turn the wrist also. Wrist rotates on that forward and back, so you can get a variety of hand poses. There is some ab action in there. It just won't work if you're holding the clothes down too much. See, he can actually come very far forward and go very back very far. But if you're holding the coat, then you're restricting the articulation with your thumb. So be careful not to do that. In and out on the legs, he can actually kick out pretty far for an old man. Forward and back as well. You got a rotation on those legs. You got a double knee bend. And you got rotation on the feet, as well as a bit of an ankle pivot. Up and down on the foot, ankle pivot, very nice. He's got those peg holes for that stand. So yeah, some good articulation on this guy. I really enjoyed it. I might not get all those Mezco superheroes they're always putting out, but I'll keep getting these silent screamers if they keep making them. Like, this is already pretty good. Now to show you his final accessory, just because I couldn't really show this one until I got him out. You probably already saw it. His coffin. It is a coffin, not a casket, because of the number of sides, and caskets are usually more ornate. Thank you, my mortuary college degree. I went to mortuary school. I have a funeral science degree. But really helps with the horror, doesn't it? But it's very cool. Top comes off very easily. Still completely detailed on the inside of the top. I like the little broken bit. It'll become apparent why later. And then the inside is full of the dirt of his homeland, because classical vampires need to sleep in the dirt of their homeland. There's a bunch of rats in there. Several rats. And you can put the other rats in here. You can put your other rats on top. But he goes nicely inside. Fits extremely well. That's so creepy. I love it. I adore it. And then you put the lid on, and he's like peeking out through the side. You see that? That's creepy, right? How he's peeking out at you. Pretty horrifying. I love it. And you can use this for really any figures in this scale that are thin enough. Let's actually test that theory. The Batman Who Laughs. Yeah. 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 He fits just barely, but he fits because it's because of his clothes. He's got all this junk at the bottom, so it's hard to fit him in there. But very nice. That's very cool. Oh God, yeah, the coffin is staying out. That's not going back in the lunchbox anytime soon. And neither is he, because I spent plenty of money on him. I should be able to play with him. But now let's get to some size comparisons. First up, I'm going to compare Nosferatu with some more modern monsters, simply because they're what I had closer to me, because I've reviewed a lot of Aliens and Predators recently. Here on the left we have the Alien Covenant Xenomorph. Very cool alien. And here on the right we have the original Guardian Predator from NECA. Not the Ultimate. The Ultimate's not out at the time of recording this, but you know. Here's Nosferatu with some monsters that are more his speed. On the left we have Boris Karloff as Frankenstein. And on the right we have the great Lon Chaney Sr. as the Phantom of the Opera. And these are both from Diamond Select, and I hate to say it, but they are much too big. I knew they would be, but they're much too big. You see, I'm not as concerned about the Frankenstein being too big, because the Frankenstein's monster is supposed to tower over other characters. That's why he has these big lifts in his shoes and these big shoulders and the padded clothes to make him look real big. So this doesn't really bother me so much. But the Phantom of the Opera should not be this tall. He should not be this much taller than Nosferatu. Sadly, Nosferatu is the only one in this new Silent Screamers line so far. So I can't tell you how he's going to scale with his own line. I can't even tell you how he scales with Mezco in general, because once again, my only other Mezco is King Kong, and King Kong, if they were in scale, would literally be able to hold him, so there's not really a point in showing the King Kong. Unless you just want it to be like, you know what? Yeah, because I was thinking the King Kong could be more like a 1950s gorilla. So let's try that. Because there were a lot of gorillas in... you ever seen Bride of... Is it Bride of the Ape or Bride of the Gorilla? With Raymond Burr? You seen that movie? So let's just show him, since it's my only other Mezco. And because there were a lot of monster films that did involve apes back in the day. I mean, they're the same height, basically. But that's my only other Mezco I can show him with, because that's the only other Mezco I have, is the Kong. Even though I guess he kind of fits in. He's a 30s monster, 1933. Even though this is technically the Skull Island comic book King Kong. NECA will give us another Kong. And hopefully more Kongs, since they're not giving us more Godzillas. But, yeah, you know, I guess it's just going to depend, but the Diamond Select Universal Monsters line is not going to scale well with Nosferatu. That's a pity, but hey, the Silent Screamers line could give us a Lon Chaney Sr. Phantom of the Opera in scale. They could give us a Hunchback of Notre Dame in scale. They could give us London After Midnight Vampire in scale. I would kill for a London After Midnight Mezco Vampire. Oh my goodness. I know it's a lost film, but that's why it would be so impressive if they made it. Also, the robot chick from Metropolis, whose name I can never remember. But, wow. So what are my final thoughts on the Mezco Silent Screamers Nosferatu 1922. This is actually a really dope figure. Is it worth $136? If you get it with all the stuff I got it with, and you're a big enough horror fan, yeah. Yeah. I can see why they started off this line the way they did with one really expensive one, because they're testing the waters, you know? But this Nosferatu has been, from what I can tell in the toy community, an extremely popular figure. People have been posting about it non-stop in all the figure groups I'm in, like Fig Club, Planet of Lost Toys, ACBA, etc. All groups I'm in, by the way. Feel free to join them. But, yeah, this figure's getting a lot of buzz, and rightfully so. He's incredibly well dressed. He's creepy as hell. Comes with a ton of accessories, a cool lunchbox that's very usable. Mine's bent, which pisses me off, but I can live with it. One of his accessories is a friggin' full-size coffin. All the rats that come with him, none of them are the same sculpt. They're all different rats. He seems to scale well with other Mezcos, which I'm sure will mean he'll scale well with his line when we get more in this line. I love the clothing. I love the attention to detail. The articulation's good. This is a dope figure. Count Orlok would be impressed. And you know what? It really makes me want to pull out my copy of Nosferatu and watch it again, because I haven't watched it in years. And I'm gonna. I'm so happy this line is a thing, because I've been wanting lots of silent movie monsters. I'm a big silent movie fan. If they could give us the man who laughs, the killer from the cabinet of Dr. Caligari, there's so much, like Conrad Veidt, Lon Chaney Sr., there's so many people that deserve figures of their monsters, and I'm excited that it looks like we're gonna get them. I'm ready for the silent horror movie toys. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below: Facebook, Twitter, etc. I'm gonna keep playing with this guy for a little bit because he's effing awesome, and I will see you all in our next toy review, even though the next video will probably be another graphic novel review. But, because I probably won't buy... No, the next action figure review will probably be a Godzilla. Because Project Godzilla, great YouTuber, picked me up a Godzilla figure I was missing, so we'll get that soon. But thank you all very much for your support. I'll see you all next time.